What's up guys, welcome to Refinement. In today's video, I'm gonna go over the top 5 sourcing tips for 2024. These same tips help me go from just doing it by myself in my garage all the way to a warehouse with employees. Let's get straight into it. I made this list kind of cryptic, so you have to watch the video and also watch all the way to the end where I have a secret tip for you. So number 1, break even in 30 days. I have recently been violating this rule because sometimes the larger buys take like 6 months or 8 months to get your money back, but I'm gonna go back to my roots and just go back to breaking even every 30 days because sometimes it's tempting to get all of the items because there's a better margin, but I feel like it's better to just take risks that you can get your money back within 30 days. And this is the same if you're buying your very first item at a garage sale. Do not buy items that could take up to 6 to 8 months to sell to get your money back because you're tying up your money for too long. So I think that breaking even in 30 days is a really smart way to look at it. So in the event that I decide to get a giant deal where I'm buying something that would normally break in 6 to 8 months, I'm gonna take like a third of that or half of it, sell it to somebody else, get my original investment back within 30 days, and it's gonna improve the cash flow, and I think it's gonna change the way I make operating decisions. Black Friday, where people actually break even on Thanksgiving Day, is not for me. I wanna break even February 1st. By January 1st, February 1st, at least have all my money back to make different decisions. Number 2, I think you should only source new items with profit. You should not reach into your own pocket and buy. Now, a lot of people have asked me, at least recently, what about selling things faster, growing my business faster? What do you recommend I do? There's a couple ways to grow it faster. One would be to borrow money, buy more inventory, right? You could also borrow money to hire people. So you could leverage people helping you. You could leverage buying larger things with more capital. Both of those, in my opinion, are very risky. So I recommend you just source new items with profit. Now, I was getting a little carried away because sometimes you make a really big lick and you want to throw all of that back into something else. So I recommend you don't do that either. Just buy things where you can get your money back in 30 days. That'll limit you to just sourcing with profit and being reasonable with what you buy. Because sometimes if you make $1,000 on a deal, maybe you want to plow that into something else because you're using house money at that point. It's like you spent $500 and made $1,500. That $1,000 is like magic money that you just made out of nowhere. Sometimes it's easy to be loose with that money. That's why I think number 1 is important to make sure you get that $1,000 back if you reinvest it into something else. Number 3, this is the most important one of this whole list, which is the whole point of earning money, in my opinion, is to learn skills to earn more money. Because essentially, if you're selling more items, or you're selling things for more expensive, or you're selling things more often, like faster, it's like skill-based. So essentially, when you're just starting, you do things one by one, then you figure out a category and you sell a whole bunch of things that are similar, and then you grow and maybe you add 2 or 3 different departments, and then you move into like people diversify, like they buy a house, they buy some stocks. Once their business is more successful, they diversify. But this is the key right here. You have to be able to do that in the same amount of time. So a lot of people think, I'm just gonna double my listings. If you double your listings, but it takes twice as much time, you won't be consistent. It's gotta be the same amount of time and more items, higher ASP, or selling things more often. You can't do that with more time because it's never worked out for me. You're never gonna get less busy. For me, the last 5 years, I've gotten busier and busier and busier. I've gotten more done, and I'm actually off work earlier just because it's getting more efficient, and I'm really focused on increasing my earning power, which means things have to become more efficient. You can't just sell more, you have to get better. Getting better is the number 1 sourcing tip that I have out of this list of 5, and the other ones are in no particular order, but number 3 is the most important. Number 4, pay asking. This has been tremendously useful. With most of my suppliers, I don't barter, I don't negotiate. They're giving me a price that they're already willing to make a profit on. Sometimes I will ask, is that the best you can do? But I never counteroffer because I want that relationship to be win-win and last for a really long time. All the people that I source from essentially work for me. I'm paying them their rate. So they're like, hey, I need $12 for this item per piece, right? I'm not gonna say, how about $11.50? Because it's not worth it. I want them to continue bringing me deals. If I pay them $12 instead of $11.50, maybe that's the difference between gas money, being able to afford a flight to go check something else. 50 cents is not worth bartering over. I never ask. If I say, is that the best you can do? That's only if I sense that they're making too much money off the deal. And if they say, yeah, I can maybe trim a little bit off, then it was worth asking. But you don't want to ask that every time because then you're just that annoying guy. Finally would be buying people's non-specialty is huge. So as an example, I'm buying shoes from people who do not sell shoes. I'm buying clothing from people who do not sell clothing. That's like going to a storage unit guy and buying the stuff that they don't like to sell, like clothing or ephemera or something that they don't normally like to do, because you can get those for pennies on the dollar. If you are buying from a collector, sometimes you need to pry it from their dead bodies, literally. If they're not dead, they will not give it up, right? So that's not the right person to buy something from, because there's like no price you could pay that they would even sell it, right? Like $1 million, and they're like, nope, don't want it, would rather look at it, then you can't buy from them. So that is the wrong person. I mean, you want somebody who doesn't care. Like, they're trading in to get a new phone, they're trading in their old phone, they don't care what they get for it. Totally different experience. So let me know in the comment section below which one of these sourcing tips works for you. If you like stuff like this, please check out dailyrefinement.com, join our newsletter. I'm going to be sending you stuff like this every single week. Until next time, guys, make progress daily.